Okay, so here's the first of two videos that I'll be making on integration by parts. I'll kind of make this quick. Basically, integration by parts is going to be as close as you can get to undoing the product rule. So in this video, I'm going to explain to you why the formula works, and in the next video, I'm going to be doing maybe 2 examples. So let's go into that. Basically, we would like to find some rule for the integral of a product of 2 functions. Now, like we talked about in the last video, that can be a pretty difficult task. It can be impossible. So this rule will sometimes work and it will sometimes not work. You have to be careful of when you use it. Now, what I'm going to try to do to derive the formula for you is start with the actual product rule. So you know that the derivative, so what we're after is the integral of a product. Let's just start with the product rule. The product rule tells you that the derivative of 2 functions, when you multiply them together, what do? Well, it doesn't matter which order you do because you're adding them. I'll just pick one. You do the first function times the derivative of the second function, and then you do the derivative of the first function times the second. Not too bad. Just for the heck of it, let me integrate both sides. I'm going to take the antiderivative of both sides. So I'm going to take the integral, and I'm going to take the integral. Antiderivative. So on the left-hand side is the easiest one. This integral and this derivative are just going to cancel. So I'm just left with f of x times g of x. The right-hand side, I actually can't really do anything about. There's too many unknowns at play, so I actually have to leave it for now just as is. Integral of f of x times g prime of x dx plus integral, I'm separating it out, do you see? So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract off this first one. I'm going to subtract it on both sides. And what I get is f of x times g of x minus this thing, integral f of x g prime of x dx equals integral f prime of x g of x dx. Now, it kind of looks like we're just playing algebra soup right now, but this is actually basically as much as you can get for, there's no other things you can simplify. So this is actually integration by parts. This is the formula. I'm going to rewrite it just a little bit so it looks a little bit more palatable. The 2 things I'm going to do, actually 3 things. The first thing I'm going to do to rewrite it is to switch the equality. So I'm just going to write this on the left-hand side. I'm going to rename, and there's no particular reason for doing this. You usually, it's just how everybody does it. Rename f and g. I'm going to rename those to u and v. And then thirdly, I'm going to take out the x's. Just for, to make it shorter and easier to remember. So let's do that. Let's rewrite it. So I have this. I have the integral. I'm going to make g of x, I'm going to call u. F prime of x, f I'm going to call v. So v prime. That's going to be equal to u v. I'm renaming g of x to be v. And f of x to be u, I'm just calling it something different, nothing fancy happening, minus integral, f of x is v, so I'm going to call that v, and then here's u prime. There's the integration by parts formula. The only thing I'm going to do to rewrite it is just to make it easier to remember. I'm not doing anything for any particular reason. This is not a better way to write. It's just easier to remember. The integral of u, and instead of writing v prime and u prime, I'm going to write du and dv, just to mean take a derivative. Integral of u dv equals uv minus integral v du. And this is the formula that you need to know. Now, it kind of looks like really useless. I mean, it doesn't look like it's a product rule. In the next video, we're going to actually do an example to illustrate this process. And so I will see you in that one.